Oh, yes, indeed. It's Mully and Hanley, Chicago Sports Radio 670 The Score, and we are at Smith Wollensky, 318 North State Street. Come on down. I believe the luncheon sold out, but you can sit at the bar and enjoy a drink and listen to the guys here. We've got Len Kasper and Bob Brenly. Guys, thanks so much for coming out. It's great to get a chance to talk to you. And really, you've developed some real quick chemistry here. I mean, you guys, it didn't take very long at all before you had the thing going together. Brian and I are both sports writers. We get a chance to work in the same field, but we don't have to work with each other every day other than when we're doing this. You spend a ton of time together. You seem to genuinely get along. Is that surprising in the business? Is that unusual? I mean, it must be a relief, I know that.
Well, first of all, thanks for having us, Mully, and Brian. Really enjoy listening to you guys, and thanks to everybody who came out today. I would like to think Bob and I are both pretty easy to get along with. I can't say I've worked with anybody who I didn't enjoy working with, but having said that, I enjoy working with Bob more than anyone I've ever been with. He's such a pro. As you heard in some of the highlights there, he's got a great sense of humor, and I learn something about baseball every single day. I feel like I'm a fan. I feel like I'm a viewer or a listener, and when he can drop a gem in there like he does every single night, I feel like I'm better for it.
When you look at this thing and look at this Cubs team, it's got to be exciting too, because all the expectations coming into the season, forget the 100 years I'd like to because I'm a Cubs fan, but the idea that this team is built to win right now, and we're starting to see some of these moves being made. The talk that Felix P.A. is going to be heading to Des Moines, and Jim Edmonds, whether he has anything left in the tank or in the calf or whatever his leg may be, is one thing. But for you guys to be part of this and the expectations of perhaps seeing an extended run into the postseason has got to be very exciting.
I think that's what we and all Cub fans are hoping for, and certainly this is a team, as you said, that's built to win and win right now. I think Lou, if you read between the lines, and if you go ahead and read the lines of some of the things he said yesterday, he pretty much alluded to that. This is not a proving grounds. This is not a tryout camp. Everybody has a role with the ball club, and you're expected to fill that role on a daily basis. And if not, we're going to get people in here who can do it.
Guys, before the break, we were talking about, but I think more your role, Bob, than Len's. I mean, Len has to do a little bit of criticism and has to just describe the story a lot, but your job is to break it down and to talk about decisions that are made and why they make them. Obviously, you've been through the process yourself, but there's got to be a bit of a fine line there. I mean, I don't know if Lou is listening to everything you're saying and wondering what the hell's he questioning me now, but you do a very subtle and excellent job of it, in my opinion. But how do you present that? Were you aware of what the broadcast was saying when you were managing? And what is that process like for you going through it from the other side?
I became aware of what the broadcaster said. Obviously, we're working while they're doing their job upstairs, but inevitably, Aunt June or Uncle Charlie or the neighbor down the street, hey, did you hear what those jerks said about you last night? You can't avoid it. You're going to find out. I never really had a problem with criticism. Jim Traber was the analyst the first couple of years I was there. Mark Grace came in later, right before I got fired. No coincidence there. But, I understand that they have a job to do. They've got things they have to do up. As long as it's educated, Brian and I were talking during the break, as long as guys come in and say, why did you do that? Or if this situation comes up in the game, what are you likely to do? If a guy does his homework, and then I go against what I told him before the ball game, well, then I'm open to criticism, and I deserve criticism.
All right, if Soriano batted number 6 all year long, he has a few little dings, injuries, it's normal season, 140 games, about 6 hole. Let's all write down how many RBIs would he have at the end of the year. Boom, 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 boom. Ah, there we go. Say the secret word, the bird comes down. $100. All right, bum, 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 bum. All right, Groucho music in the background. All right, who wants to go first? Bob Brenly? How many RBIs would Soriano have if he were in the 6th hole in a normal season?
I wrote down 115.
Hold it up for the audience here. Let's verify that. Can we verify that? All right. Mr. Len?
Wow. I said 96.
96? Yeah. All right. Let's see. There's John Lesage from Burson Marsteller. Mr. Lesage, if you could read what Murph wrote down. And Bob,
115.
And Len?
96.
And
115.
Oh. 115. All right, Bob. Maybe we drove in together.
Great minds think alike.
All right.
Nice.
Len, you're still welcome to stay.
Okay, thank you.
And one thing we haven't talked about, and I think we should, Gerald Perry's philosophy of hitting is attack the strike zone. It's not attack whatever the pitcher lets go. Attack the strike zone. Now, last year it took a while, and there were some instances where the Cubs showed a little more patience, but it didn't last all season. I think the second year round, I think the players are a little more willing to buy into Gerald's theory, and of course the Fukudome factor has to be figured in there. But
Jock Jones, Floyd, is Turris, and Barrett are gone.
Well, that's true.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey,
But of those guys, not
but-
to interrupt, Murph, but Cliff,
I do it all the time, so.
Cliff does take pitches. The problem
Yes.
with Cliff last
Yes.
year is he wasn't completely healthy,
Good
and
point.
he's not a guy who's going to play 145 to 150. If Cliff Floyd were 28, he could have helped this team a lot this year.